Hey, what's up, y'all? My name's Kennedy, and welcome to my channel.
Baby, won't you bang my line? Cause if you bad and broke, that's a sign that you messing with a lame, wasting time. Let me take you to the hills full of vibes. Got new vibe tryna tell me.
Y'all, I don't even know where to start. I'm just so... The past week has honestly been the most ridiculous and shocking, but also not surprising time of my life. This is probably going to be a rant because I'm just so fed up with everything right now. What? You're telling me that in 2021, with the immense amounts of money that go towards the US defense budget, we're talking ridiculous amounts of money. Y'all, the police have Teslas. I literally live in Columbia, South Carolina, and there are 2 tanks here. The police have tanks. And you're telling me that in this little southern city, you can have tanks, but you weren't prepared for the capital, the center of our government? You weren't ready to have that on lock? You weren't prepared? You can't tell me, you cannot tell me that the capital of the United States just wasn't protected enough. You're telling me in DC, where there are the most police officers per square foot, you're telling me that they weren't ready? Y'all, and the thing is that these people were talking about this. January 6th was in their mouths heavy. They were ready. They knew exactly what the fuck was. People had shirts. I saw a Civil War January 6th, 2021 shirt. You can't tell me you didn't know what was happening when you had shirts made. You had shirts printed. Y'all, they had pipe bombs. And this is really the thing that's so confusing to me, is that it's not being classified by a lot of people as a terrorist attack. And it was. This is domestic terrorism we're talking about, at the hands of white supremacists and neo-Nazis. These people are terrorists. I don't care what kind of American soil they were born on. I don't care how much they served in the military. They're terrorists. That's really the only thing you can call them. I don't want to hear protester. I don't want to hear Trump supporter. I don't even want to hear rioter at this point. I want to hear domestic terrorist, because that's what they are, and they need to be in federal prison for committing federal crimes. Y'all, they went into the Capitol building, stormed the Capitol building, went in, did whatever they damn well pleased, took pictures of confidential information, stole laptops, stole mail. These are federal crimes. You're committing treason against the state. Huh? What? And I think the thing that really blows my mind completely is that okay, they knew the rally was gonna happen. The rally's gonna happen. Okay, whatever. The rally was a planned thing. The rally was a planned event. They knew what was gonna happen, and they honestly knew the goal behind it. How do you know who was in that crowd? Aside from the white supremacists and the pedophiles and the whatever the fuck else, how do you know that there weren't people from enemy states? How do you know that there weren't how do you know who is in the crowd when you just let a whole bunch of people just casually walk around in your government facilities? Like, and the thing that really blows, I feel like there's just so many points and so many areas where this is just so wrong. It's like, okay, another thing is that they were in the middle of the electoral college count, like the count that like officially certifies who's going to be the next president of the United States, like that count, the one where they count paper electoral votes that come from every single state and keep them in wood boxes. That count was happening exactly at the same time as this rally, and you didn't think for once, that might not be a good idea, or maybe since we have all this important shit going on, maybe we should have some more protection. Maybe we should have a few more guards. And y'all, they were warned. This wasn't like something new. Like there were Black organizations that have been obviously keeping track of, you know, white supremacist groups and things like that, because obviously it's a direct threat to us, terrorists. Obviously those things have been kept up with. So like they have seen the trends, they've seen what they've been talking about. They warned the government. They said, hey, it looks like some big things are gonna pop off at this. Like, I don't even know. And y'all, I saw a video. I'll probably pop it up. I saw a video and cops literally just let these people in. Like, they just said, come on in. The door's open. Like, when you have a system so corrupt that the government ignores warnings, that the government puts no extra protection in place, that the government knows what's about to happen, doesn't do anything to prepare for it. And then not only the cops that you do have there are like inside job type people, like they literally just let folks in. Like, this system is messed up on so many layers. And oh my gosh, like I don't even know how to put this into words, because it's like right before my eyes I'm seeing a government system just fail. Like it's just failing. Like this is a failure. Like, you cannot tell me that when you haven't had your Capitol building stormed since 1812, this hasn't happened since 1812, and you're telling me that we're just supposed to like keep going on like things are normal, like everything's hunky-dory? I just watched the rebel flag, the flag of an enemy state, by the way, because let me remind you, when the whole Confederacy was happening and states seceded from the nation, meaning that they were no longer a part of the United States, meaning that they were an enemy state, and they adopted the rebel flag, an enemy state, people who committed treason, like a whole civil war was fought so that that flag would not touch that Capitol building. And you just let people walk in with it casually, parading around the Capitol of the United States with rebel flag paraphernalia, with Nazi paraphernalia. Like, huh? It's all very confusing to me. And like, I feel like I just have to talk about it, because it's like we really are like seeing this happen before our eyes, and like it's like it's not deep enough. Like It's like these things like just keep, like things just keep piling on and piling on and piling on. And I feel like the breaking point has to happen. Like, and if people storming the Capitol building isn't the breaking point, I don't know what is. Like, and then they just let them go, y'all. They just let these people go back about their daily business. They let them go back to their hotels. Let them get back on flights back home. These people came, they went to a rally, they stormed the Capitol, they committed treason, and then went back home to be next door neighbors. Like, the entire thing just has me feeling like, what in the entire actual fuck? Like, what the actual fuck is going on? I don't know. And it's kind of horrifying. And I just don't know. I don't even know what to expect, because when you let people who commit treason and acts against your nation on such a federal level, like, what's gonna stop them from doing it again? These people are terrorists. I just want to make that so abundantly clear that these people are terrorists. Like, anyway, as I said, I knew that would probably end up being a rant, and it was, but I'm just like, I have to like make people aware of these things. Like, we have to talk about this, because I'm not going to just keep moving on like everything's fine, because it's not. So yeah, I just had to talk about that. But my hair, yes, that's probably why you came here, was my hair. So let's get into it a little bit. So I am in month 10. Can y'all believe it? Can you really believe that in 2 more months I will be at a year locked? Like, what? Girl, I just cannot. It doesn't like this year or the past 10 months have just been so wild on just like in life. So much has happened, and I just can't even fathom the fact that I'm really at almost a year locked. And it's just been such a good experience, honestly, with my hair and for my hair. Like, I just have loved getting to know my hair on such a different level, because I mean, I think like as a loose natural, you do take care of your hair and you get used to taking care of your hair, but it's not like something like you see it grow, but you don't see it grow in the same way. Like, every single month I get to see my locks in like a different stage and doing different things and progressing in different areas. And it's just really exciting to kind of watch that transformation happen. So now that I am in month 10, the biggest thing that I'm noticing, honestly, is that I'm having some like actual like healthy size sections of locked hair. I mean, hair that has matured past the budding stages and is actually starting to form into like solid locks. And I'm definitely noticing that happen pretty much all over my head, but especially in like my top crown area. And I'm just like really seeing these locks actually start to form, with, you know, the exception still being a little bit of 2-strand twist that you can still see on the end. But I'm like, I really look at my hair in the mirror nowadays and I'm like, wow, like I can really tell that these are locks, in the sense that like they have matured to the point of being like actual locked hair. Because I think during the first few months, like it gets fuzzy and you see a lot of budding and like you can tell that they're starting to form. But once you get that kind of like hardened, like where the hair is like really wrapping on itself, and forming that solid lock that is not like moving, it's not going anywhere, it's not gonna unravel, that's what I'm really starting to see in my hair. I'm gonna try to find a good lock to kind of show you guys what I mean. Okay, so I think that this lock is a pretty good example of what I mean. So as you can see, this whole section here is really like a formed lock. And you can even tell that there's like a little bit less frizz. It's starting to like really build up on itself in this section. And then here we still have a little bit of budding going on up at the top where obviously my retwist is. And then down here at the end, you can see a little bit of two-strand twist form still there, but it's proceeding down and like going all the way down the shaft, and this will end up being a lock pretty soon. Like this is a pretty well formed lock, and you can see that it's really on its way to being fully mature. And there I have a few different ones like that, you know, where it's getting to that point where they're really starting to mature, and I can just really tell that they're getting to a good point. I also feel like in the past, probably like in the past like 3 months, like the last 3 retwists, I've just been retaining a lot more length. So I feel like I've noticed like the most growth, because honestly I feel like months 1 through like 1 through 6, 1 through 7, I felt like I saw my hair shrinking up honestly a lot more. Like the hair was kind of bunching up on itself before there was any kind of drop. So when I had first locked my hair, like I had 2-strand twists, and they were like just like really short and springy and sat like about right here, and didn't really drop past my ears too much. And I'm just starting to see now that growth really start to change at like a quicker rate, because I felt like during the first few months, like I was really just seeing it trying to form on itself and trying to like get used to being in the locked pattern. Like my hair just had to get used to growing that way, because it was still kind of wanting to like grow out instead of down. And I just feel like my hair was like still kind of getting into the hang of things. And like obviously for your locks to mature, like you have to have kind of that like dead hair pile up. Like that sounds weird, but that's really what it is. Like you're just letting the dead hair collect, so that you can get that length and have it keep growing. So I feel like during the first months, I was really just seeing it kind of shrink up and like get used to being in the lock forms. And then once I hit about 7 months, like that's when I started to see actual growth, and started to see myself retain some length. And I feel like I've just continued to notice that over the past few months. So I'm hoping that I can continue this growth spurt for like a second. I know I've definitely seen other like locked people talk about how they'll have like a growth spurt and then kind of go through a stage of dormancy, like where their hair won't grow for a while and then you'll hit another growth spurt. So I think that's where I'm kind of at right now, where I'm just seeing a lot of growth and a lot of length being retained, which is really exciting, honestly. Like I really like to see that. And not that there's anything wrong with like short locks or, you know, being in the baby lock stage or anything like that. I think it's just really exciting to see length, and ultimately that is what I want. Like I want really full, and really, you know, just thick, nice looking locks. And I think that, you know, slowly but surely I'm getting there, and it's just really nice to be able to see that happen. I think my camera was out of focus, so if it was, I greatly apologize. Sorry about it, but I don't remember everything that I just said, so hopefully that works out. One thing that I am considering changing going forward is I've thought about starting to condition my locks, because at the moment I only use shampoo. I use the Castile soap. So, and that's like the only thing that I use to wash my hair. And now that they're starting to get more mature and I'm like obviously not really afraid of them unraveling, I'm thinking about starting to use conditioner. And I'm honestly just starting to think about like changing some products up. And I mean, I still definitely want to stay with like natural products, but like I would be open to like looking into some different brands and things. So honestly, if you guys like have any recommendations of any conditioners or any good oils that you use, like let me know, because or shampoo too. Like I am kind of thinking about trying to change up that routine and maybe start something different. Not to say that I'm upset at all with like how my hair is. I don't know. I'm just at a point where I feel like everyone changes up their routines sometimes. So yeah, let me know in the comments like what kind of things do you guys use on your locks? What do you like? What would you recommend? Because your girl needs to know. Like I'm trying to switch some things up. You know, it's a new year. Why not? So yeah. But that's really all that I have for you guys today. I'm going to turn around as always so I can show you guys the back of my hair, and then that's gonna be it. All right, y'all, that's going to be it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you go ahead and give it a like, and, you know, let me know down in the comments what you thought. If you're on your log journey, I'd love to hear from you as well. And if you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.